Hi everyone, hi, I'm Julie from Julie's Everything Treasures, and not sure if you saw that, but I dropped everyone. Anyway, I'd like to welcome everyone on my Facebook Live. This is our Wednesday's chat and craft time as usual, and anyone watching on the website, hello, and on YouTube, hello too. Just going to see if I can bring us up today on my laptop to see if I can see comments. I couldn't do it yesterday, but let's see if that can work today. I think actually the internet seems to be a little bit better today, so hopefully. Almost got it, hold on. There it is. Oh. Sorry about that. Hello everyone, I am back. Julie from Julie's Everything Treasures here in Chilliwack, BC, Canada, on the west coast of Canada. And welcome. We're doing the craft and chat time, and today we are going to do a craft. And if you have not been watching this week is the first week of me doing multiple lives, and this is going to continue. This is what I'll be doing for the next little while, especially as things are going kind of a little bit different in the world. I'll be doing Mondays thrift hauls, which right now consists of people dropping off their unwanted items, and I will show you what I have and pick an item to paint or do something with each Monday. On Tuesdays I will be doing a trash to treasures. We did one yesterday and it came out a success in the end, but it was a little bit of a trying one, that one. It was a challenge for me, that one. So anything that would be junk related thrown into recycling or into the garbage bin is basically, hello Carol, how are you doing? On a Tuesday I would turn it into something that maybe you would like to keep rather than throw away. And Wednesday is pretty much what I usually do on a Wednesday, is some kind of craft. Sometimes I do painting, furniture and that, but that goes on to actually tomorrow. Hello Denise, and thank you for sprinkling, that's really nice of you. Anyone that wants to sprinkle, I am much appreciated. I really do want to build what I have going on here so I can expand what I'm doing, and more I get is obviously the more I'm going to give, and hope, thank you for anyone doing that. If you have any questions or any comments, put them in the comments. If you're watching on replay, put hashtag replay and any questions. If I miss any of your questions, I will go back in afterwards and answer them, and thank you for watching. And also any hearts or anything like that, that would be amazing. Thank you, Denise. So yes, tomorrow will be the start of the Thursday and Fridays I'll be doing more of the techniques of painting, furniture, that kind of thing, and it will be a Thursday and Friday thing. If it goes on more than that, then it will go into my Saturdays, but if not, generally my Saturdays will be the end of my work week, which will be a wrap-up little live of just going over what we did through the week, if you missed anything, what's new and what's coming the next week. So that will be Saturdays. So today, as I say, we're doing the craft and chat time, and we are going to be doing something that I was meaning to do a while back, and I started to collect all the items from it. It was a dollar store kind of craft, and I think most of you probably seen it before, so I'm going to attempt it, see if I can get my version of it, of making a scale. But I didn't end up getting everything I needed, so you'll be able to see how I kind of try to make it my own and use what I have, because as I've said, over the last few weeks I have not gone out to the stores, I have not gone and done any of that kind of thing. I haven't, well, a lot of them are closed anyway, but I have made do with what either people have given me, which I'm very grateful for, or what I already have. So I'm making this scale, but I'm making it with what I already have. Alright, so we've started off with, basically I did pick up one of those plastic planters from Dollar Tree, and I've already painted the outside black. I just spray painted it because I wanted the base coat to be dry before we get started. And then I've already stuck on the top part here, and the reason was I wanted it good solidly stuck on, so I stuck it on yesterday so it dried overnight. So that's got the base colour of black. So one of the things that actually is different is a lot of people for this part would go to Dollar Tree and pick up one of those little tables, you know, like a dollhouse table. I think they were plastic, and they would put those on here. That I wasn't able to pick up before things went crazy in the world, and so I actually just got a couple of pieces of a little bit odds and ends of wood out of my garage, cut them into shape and just stuck them on. So I kind of made my own and made it my own. And even though I did measure it perfectly, they are the same height. Because this is plastic, it almost doesn't look like they are. So this is going to be a leaning scale. So if you're weighing out any food items, you'll end up with more of the food than what you wanted. So that's a good thing, right? Everybody wants a little bit more extra cream, butter into their baking, right? So this scale is going to be perfect for that. So I'm going to bring you down, and we're going to finish making the scale. And as I say, this will be my version. Haven't done it before, I'll be doing it with you, and we'll see if it's a hit or miss, all right? And any questions, as I say, put them in the comments and I'll be glad to answer them. And if I don't get a chance, I will answer them later. All right, come on down. Let's see if I can bring you down without dropping you. Let's see if I can do that, because I've already dropped you once. So let's just not drop you again. And if I can do well this next week or two, I'm hoping that I will be able to get an actual tripod. That's coming into my next little, I'll have to order obviously from Amazon because I don't think anywhere else is open, but that's what I'm aiming for over the next couple of weeks, is to just be able to get a tripod for my phones. So that would be good. I'm just going to move you back a little bit so you can see a little bit more what's happening. And so we're going to get started on painting this. I want to make it look metal, and you've seen me do this before, so I'll chat away as I'm doing it. But we did do this on the tins a couple of weeks ago, so if you didn't see that, you'll see it again right now. And let's get it covered and make it look like a tin, and we'll go from there. So basically I'm using some grey chalk paint. This is a dark grey colour, and also I'm going to be using this metallics silver, and basically using a brush and a sponge to blotch it together to get a kind of metal effect. So let me get organised so that I've got the paint in front of me but not blocking your way. So I think I'm going to put a little bit in here. Perfect. So I'll put it that side so you can see this side. That's even better. Got my sponge, put it into the paint, open up this, and basically what I do, if you haven't seen this before, is I'm just going to, with the grey, I'm just going to use a brush and basically sponge paint it on like you used to do in the 80s or 90s, and just dab it all over one side. And I've already got paint on me, so we know we're doing well, because if I don't have paint on me, then I'm not doing it right. Just go down the sides and then turn around to the next side and just let that dry a little bit first. Basically just blotching it on, because we want texture like metal. That's basically what we want, and get that done. How's everyone doing? How's life treating everyone? Are you getting out, or are you staying in? Are you getting all your crafts painted, or what's everyone doing? making sure you get on top and also up here. If you can see the difference, there is a difference between the grey and the black. You can see it better in the light, and whether the camera on the phone picks that up, I'm not too sure, but we'll see. I'm going to move that out of the way. I already need to get a wipeout. A wipeout. Isn't that a song or something? But yeah, already got paint all over me. And just dry it up a little bit here. I'm just going to move it out of the way. And as I say, I'm not quite seeing the comments, so if any of the comments come on and anyone that knows me can maybe answer them, that would be great. There we go, it's almost dry, so I'll be able to do a little bit of the silver. So what I'm doing is I'm just dipping into my silver, which I'll put over here, and then just go with a sponge. I'm just going to basically tap it on. And we're just going to get a metal effect. Right down into the grooves and onto the top, and there's little kind of, it looks like screw holes at the top here, so I'm making sure they really look like metal, and going around each side and just continuing on. And this, again, it's not the main coat, this is not the colour it's going to be. I am going to be adding more colour. This is just going to be the metal of the underneath. Alright Denise, I enjoy your dinner. I know it's a bit later for you guys. I try and make the time a little bit convenient for you, for being not too late, but it's hard to do when you're on the West Coast and you're kind of basically the last time zone, right? Being on the West Coast of the country, of the world. I think there's only, I think it's just Hawaii that's after us. So basically when we're counting down the new year, we are the last ones, and we're usually watching all the other Happy New Years on replay because we're right at the end. So we can literally choose any country, any time zone, and watch ever replay Happy New Year we want because we're right at the end. So quite often at 4 o'clock, I think it is, I watch the English one and then go through, and it's almost, for us, all day long we have Happy New Year. Making sure you get at the top here too. And the sides. And the last side here. And as I say, if you can, hello Jessica, how are you doing? If you can like, comment, or even share to your friends, that would be much appreciated, as I'm trying to expand, as I say, so I can build up more, and my aim right now is to sell a little bit more, which I have stuff for sale on my website. If you haven't been on julieseverythingtreasures.com, I have everything on the for sale area, listed, itemized with prices, and I do curbside pickup, and I'm almost at the point where I've sold enough to be able to get myself a tripod. So that's what I'm aiming for. Hello, Anto. Hola. Anto is in Mexico. One of my good friends in Mexico. So there we go, we have this. That's the metal part, and I'm just going to dry this quickly so we can get on to the next step. Alright, so I'm just going to bring it down here. So I always take it down to dry it so it's maybe not quite blasting noise right into the mic. Alright, hopefully it looks a little bit like metal, still a little tacky, but I'm just going to use the time in minute right now to unplug that and plug this in, because I may need some glue soon. I might have to get another glue stick out, but I will need that later anyway. Just getting myself organised while I wait for this to dry. So yeah, it's almost dry here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make up the outside colour, and what I thought I would use is a little bit of this. It's a really cool colour. I think it's, forget the name of it. I think it's 57, Chevy 57 or something like that. It's a beautiful colour from DIY, but I'm going to add a little bit of white to it because it's a little too bright, right? I just want to add a little tiny bit of white to it, so I'm going to pour it into here. That's all I need, and then I'm going to add some white. There's my brush. White. And mix it up and let's see what colour we get. Going to add a little bit more of the actual 57. Tiny bit more. Oop, that might have been too much. Oh well. Let's get this mixed up. It's looking a nicer colour anyway. A little bit lighter, right? You can be mixing for hours trying to get the perfect shade, can't you? Anyway, that's kind of looking a little bit more the colour I wanted. So what I am going to do next is another technique that you've seen me do before. I'm going to be using this Vaseline, it's a petroleum jelly that I'm going to rub onto the surface, and hopefully that'll be the areas this paint doesn't touch. So it looks like an old worn out scale, and that some of the paint has been chipping, peeling off. So I'm going to just move this so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to use my fingers to do this. So basically I'm going to, not quite so much on the top up here, I want it kind of to look metal, but along different areas I'm going to be putting the petroleum kind of in the areas that I don't want the paint to adhere to it. And I'm using my fingers because I don't want it perfect, you know. So I'm doing it all the way around. I'm gonna bring it down onto this corner. And maybe a little here, a little along here, and some here. I'm just going around each part, put it on top. All the way down. Kind of doing it almost on this back part here, like it's cracked all the way down. And on the last side, all right, so let's hope this works. So let's wipe my hands, and I don't want too much paint on my brush, so I'm just going to take some off because I don't want to push away the petroleum jelly. But I'm basically going to just... Oh really, Jessica, you're doing a scale too? Okay, well, what colour are you thinking of doing yours, Jessica? So I'm painting now, and hopefully the parts that have the petroleum jelly, when I go with a dry cloth, they will wipe back off. So we'll see if it works. What do you think of the colour? I will be painting underneath. I'm just not doing it for the live so that I can get this done. And then just the last part. You're doing yours white? Yes. I've got a little microwave that's this colour, so I thought it might go with that. That's why I chose this colour. Just doing inside the lip and along the bottom, and there we've got the colour. I'm going to wipe my fingers because you know me, I have paint everywhere, and I'm just going to dry this up again, and I will then be wiping off and see what it looks like, see if I need to add some or take some away. it's obviously going to still look wet in areas because where the petroleum, hi Debbie, hi, where the petroleum jelly, the Vaseline is, it's never going to dry. So it's never going to look fully dry, but let's see if this works. There's one side. I'll try and bring it around so you see each side. And another side. And this side actually started crackling effect. I was kind of, I'm liking it. So that was different. And this one was the one where I did it all the way down, if you remember. When I put the Vaseline on, I said I wanted it to make it look like it all went all the way down. So it's exactly doing it where I put the Vaseline. It's working exactly how I wanted it to work. And the final side. I've got some up here that needs wiping. And that's kind of the look. So now I'm going to kind of dry my hands as usual and just look to see which is kind of my favorite side. Now obviously when this is fully dry, I would seal it. And just a poly sealer, I think, because it's plastic rather than a wax. And but for the now, I'm not going to seal it, or else it would just take way too long for you to see the finished product. So while this is drying just a little bit, I'm going to do the side part. So what I have going on, this is from the dollar store. It's just a round artist canvas. So I'm going to open this up if I can. And again, as I say, I'm working with what I have. I've not gone out to buy anything or anything like that. So it's actually been very difficult. But because, you know, quite often I find in a lot of things are like, oh, I wish I had this, or I don't have that. But I'm making do and making things work. So I printed out the scaled face, and this is kind of not looking how exactly I would want it because my printer ran out of ink. And as I said, I'm not going out getting anything, I'm not doing anything. So I just printed it as is, and then I added a little to it. I added 1944 to it with a stamp, and I put pounds on it. And I put scale on it. And the reason I put 1944 on is because actually my own home where I live, the house was built in 1944. So I kind of trying to make it look like the scale came with the house. So I'm just going to cut this out. And if it's not quite right, as I say, I'm making do. It's how it came. It printed out, not the greatest. I've aged it with some coffee to make it aged. You can leave it white, you can put maybe some coffee on, lots of coffee on, little coffee on, or even tea. So instead of baking it in the oven, I just slapped on some coffee and I actually put it outside in the sun and it dried nicely. But if you want an even more older effect, just put the coffee on, put it on a baking sheet, and put it in the oven at 200 degrees for about 5 minutes, keeping an eye on it continuously, and it dries nicely for you. And one thing is you can work with it straight away, and it dries quickly, so you get more lines in it. Hey Christine, how are you doing? So now I'm going to just I'm going to rip it because I want to make it look old. So I'm just going to do a rip here and here, and now we're going to do a little bit of decoupage. So I'm going to get my Mod Podge out if I can get it. Here it is, and hopefully I've got a brush and I need a bag. Where's my bag. Do I have a bag? Yes, I do. You've seen me do the Mod Podge many times with the mason jars. So basically I'm using Mod Podge to do it. I'm going to slap some on here, and then I'm just going to put this on top and push it down. So let's find, this brush will do. And just cover the whole thing. You want it covered well, but it doesn't need to be thick. Just make sure it's covered well. If you don't have it covered well, then that's when you get the bubbles and the areas that don't stick, and it's not great. Make sure you got all the way to the edges, and then just move this out of the way, put the lid on, because I am the type that I do drop everything. And let me find where the top is, and let's see if I can just put it in place. And then I'm going to use the bag just to push it all down so that my fingers are not getting sticky with the glue and pulling it back off, ripping it or moving it or smudging it. So I use a bag because then, as I've said before, the first layer underneath is on top of the paper, and the second layer up here I can move it around. It's probably a little noisy, sorry, but I can move it around to flatten out the whole thing. And there we have the face, and I'm over just a little bit. I should have paid a little bit more attention to just moving it over, but no big deal, that's okay. And we have the rips, we have a little bit of creasing, but to be honest, it goes with what I want it to look like, so I'm very happy with that. Now what I'm going to do is put the Mod Podge back on top to seal it, and then I can leave that to dry. So just slap it back on top, and this makes the sealer, and it's just basically a decoupage like you've done many times before. And it's wrinkling quite a bit, and I could flatten it down with the bag again, but I don't want to because I'm actually liking it. I'm liking the wrinkled effect to make it look old, so I'm going with that. Put that back on top. I'm just going to dry it a little bit quickly so I can then stick it on, and we can go from there, okay? Hey Marsha, how are you doing? So when it's fully dry, it will dry clear, but at least it's not dripping wet, so I can work with it. So I am thinking, let's see, I want to keep this side, I want that maybe to be the back, and I'm liking that side too, so I think I'm going to stick it on this side. So basically I'm going to be putting it underneath in here. No, I'm going to put it on this side because then you can see it better. Yeah, in here. So I'm just going to get the glue gun, and I know I need another stick, so I'm going to put that in. And as I say, I'm not sealing it today, but I will be sealing it. And what I also want to do with this is, I don't have the colour, but I did order the colour. I've got a certain paint coming, and I'm going to, once I get it, I'm going to go back in here and do a couple of little areas of rust. And so that's another reason I don't want to seal it yet. So when that paint colour comes in, I'll bring this back out and add it to one of my lives and just show you how I do the little bit of rust on it. And I'll do that while I'm doing the live as soon as that comes in. So I am going to find the bottom. Let's get this the right way around first. So let's see, this is the bottom. Glue sticks not in, and just go along this edge here, and I'm just going to stick this in here, and then I'm going to find where this touches and just go in with the glue. And then just push it on. Move that out of the way. This is the printable I was told to use for this, but to be honest, I would actually either go higher with the table, or I would go smaller with this part. So I'm not loving that, so I may get a different printable, make it smaller and make it, and then that. But basically, if I can show you, this is what we've got going on. It's just too big, I think. I don't know, what do you think? We're making scale. So if you can see, the back is the main part of the scale. But I think, to be honest, the front is, this either needs to be higher or this needs to be smaller. And then also, I haven't decided whether I'm going to leave this white or paint it yet. I haven't decided, but that's kind of where we're at with the scale. But as I say, this is too big, I think. I think I might make it smaller. I'm not sure on that one. But so it's a hit in some ways, doing what I've seen before. If I can turn it round, it is looking scale light, but I would do the face smaller. So I'm going to find a way of doing the face smaller, and I think that might be better for it. I'm not loving the face on it, and also I would maybe make it a lot smaller, because you can see it from the back too. If you see here and here, you can see it, and it's just way too big. So as I say, I'm liking how it's looking, but that face is way too big, so I'm probably going to take it off, redo the face how I want to do it. As I say, this was a printable that I got that was apparently for this, and it's just way too big. My question is, I'm going to turn it around again, I keep turning it for the face, but with the top, with the bowl, do I paint it the same colour as the scale, or do I leave it white, or do I make it metal? What do you think? because I'm thinking that it would look good actually painted metal. I'm not sure. So what time is it? Yeah, I've got a few minutes. I could maybe start this up. So do you think it should be metal looking? The colour of the scale, the greenish bluish turquoise colour, or should I just leave it white? Anybody think what would you do? See if I can see any comments. Nobody's opinion, or I'm not getting my comments, not sure. I don't know why it's not working very well, Facebook, right now for me. I'm not getting a lot of the comments. So as usual, when I'm trying to copy something I've seen before, I like the idea of it, but it's not exactly how I want it to come out, so I play around with it and make it my own, and then I'll just do pictures of it today, tomorrow, when it's all dry and finished. And as I say, I want to do that, a little bit of rust on it when I get that colour in, and finish it up. So I think this will be a hit, but right now it's not there yet. So I'm going to continue on with this, and when I do finish, I'm going to put the proper size face on it, and then I'm also going to do probably one more coat of this colour to just finish it nicely, which means I'll put more Vaseline on, the colour coat on top, and then I'll do the rust, and then I'll step back, have a look at this and see what colour I think. And if you're watching on replay, or if you're watching right now, tell me what you would do, what colour maybe you would paint this, or if you would just leave it be. And as I say, I will finish it tonight or tomorrow and do some more to it, and when it's fully finished I will show you the end result, and I think it will be a hit. It's just not quite right, that it's not there yet. So hope you're liking. I'm going to bring you back up here so you can see me as I'm talking to you, and I'll turn this around so you can see. There we go. That's what we tried to make, but it, as I say, that front's just way too big. I'm not liking that. And tomorrow we are gonna, it's Thursday, so Thursday and Friday, tomorrow 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we're gonna be doing some furniture. So that's been exciting, and I've actually got a really cool piece of furniture to paint tomorrow. So tune in tomorrow, come back to my live tomorrow, and then you'll be able to see my furniture that I'll be doing tomorrow, starting tomorrow. It's going to take at least 2 days, it may take 3. I'm thinking of painting, I'm thinking of stamping, and I'm thinking transfer and decoupage all on this piece of furniture. So it's going to be a lot to do. It may take a couple of days to do. Take my time, and I think it's going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait to get started on that tomorrow. So come back and join me tomorrow, and thanks for watching today. Everyone have a great night, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Goodbye and be safe. Alright? Thank you.